Well, hi everyone, this is Daniel Williams, Senior Editor at MGMA, and we are back with another bonus edition live from the Leaders Conference in Denver. We are with Steve Dickens. Steve Dickens is the new Lifetime Achievement Award winner for MGMA. Steve, once again, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's been a big weekend so far.
It has been. Wow. So let's just let you bask in that for just a moment.
I'm pretty basked up, I think, but it's kind of cool to get loved on.
Yeah. So well deserved. We have talked about this earlier in another podcast, but now you've actually received the award. You're live here. What is this relationship? This relationship that you have had with MGMA, not just the tenure, the amount of time, it's been pretty unique though. Talk about what this journey has been like with MGMA.
You're right. It has been more than about the time, and I have had what I consider to be the ultimate MGMA experience. I am very fortunate. I have, worked with, been mentored by, become friends with so many of the historical leaders of the association and developed such a broad network. And, those people are still in my life. But, I've had the unique advantage of having come through the ranks as local chapter, a state officer, and of course, ultimately as chair and on the board. But I also have come through what used to be the assemblies and societies, which are more communities now, and of course they have their own meetings. And so I've really seen everything from a lot of different perspectives, and having gone through the college with certification and fellowship, I really feel pretty lucky that I got to see it all, I think. Right. And have seen the evolution of the association as it has grown and become larger and become stronger and has kept up with the times, which, as we know, all groups have not done.
Yeah. If you sat down, pen to paper, and you were talking to Steve Dickens from when you first started here at MGMA, what would you tell that Steve Dickens? Get ready for the ride?
Maybe. Maybe get a little more sleep.
Okay.
I won't say that I would have told him to say no anymore because I don't regret any of it.
Right.
There is nothing I look back on and think, I think regret is about knowing that you can do better and not. And I do believe everyone grows and everyone learns and hopefully and progresses. But I've always tried to do the best I could do, and that would be the advice, and maybe to enjoy it a little more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you and I talked earlier. You have been with MGMA through some very seismic changes over the times. What have you learned about yourself as you helped be at least a voice and a participant in some of those major changes that took place?
I've learned to stick by your guns, and when you believe in something, to champion it. You do have to listen to the naysayers. You do have to give them their time. But if you are prepared and have done the research and really believe that this is where we need to go, then you need to be steadfast in that.
Yeah.
And MGMA has changed a lot. And it's funny, I was having a conversation with someone earlier today about how MGMA has changed. And my comment was, they were saying, I'm just so old and everything. I'm like, people always say that.
Yeah.
They always say that. And things do need to change. They need to evolve.
Yeah. So you have been recognized for a lifetime of achievement. We're not trying to ride you off into the sunset or anything. So you've still got a lot left in the tank, Steve. So as you look back, give us one memory. What's an MGMA memory that you've had that has just really sticks with you about what this organization is about?
Wow. I think the memories that mean the most, there were the memories of, when I got my fellowship or the first time you walk on stage or, any of those things. And just, my year's chair was pretty phenomenal too. But the memories that really stick with me are when you're going through something difficult on your own, and then there are those people there.
Yeah.
And those people that even you just, see occasionally, those people who will say, you made a difference. You really inspired me. You told your story of how difficult it was to get your fellowship or what it was that you went through. And that inspired me to think, okay, you didn't give up. I can do it too. And it's those private moments
Mm-hmm.
away from the glitz and the glamour and the pictures and the ribbons and all that, which is really cool. But it's those moments with people.
Mm-hmm. Last question then. Anybody listening to this or watching it, what advice would you give to them if they're an MGMA member, they're looking for their niche out there, they're looking for their journey to take, what advice would you give them?
Well, MGMA is obviously the leader in education and resources and advocacy for what we do. So the first piece of that is get into the website, go to the meetings, see what MGMA has to offer to you. Go through the exhibit hall, talk to people. There is so much there that will make you better. When I began my career on the hospital side, as I've told you, and it was when I went to the physician-owned side piece of practice management, and my doctor said, I want you to get involved in MGMA. And I still remember the quote that they said was, "You will meet people there who can help us." And little did I realize at that point that I would also meet people who would help me. So the second and last piece of advice that I would give then is, it's more than just about the resources. It is also about the relationships. It's about the networking. These are your peeps.
Yeah.
And some of them will turn into much more than that. So don't be afraid to meet people. Don't be afraid to talk to them and make those relationships and be willing to make those commitments. Be a mentor, find a mentor.
Yeah. Steve Dickens, Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.